Well, 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 well. We're never late. But
No.
we're never late. But
Oh Lord.
sometimes sometimes some things happen. You can only say, all right then. Morning, 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 morning.
Morning.
Brother Nancy at work.
I know. Good
Right.
morning.
You have to have out. Jackie had to ball out.
I tell you.
Me have to put on the hat for deflect, Brother Nancy this morning.
Lord,
You
you
know, see
see.
if I'm ready around Duppy.
I wonder what go on. I want kind of read that you have on and a red frock
Oh,
around
Jesus.
Duppy.
You ready for this? We run the Duppy then.
Alrighty, so let's start. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Runnings, coming to you live from inside of the zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, a platform where voices are heard and people connect. Welcome to another exciting feature of the program where we talk about our traditions and cultures, memories of our childhood, and bouts of laughter. This morning's topic Saturday Morning Runnings. Let's talk Jamaican folklore. Jamaican and West Indian folklore is filled with stories and beliefs passed down to generations. Folklore like the Anansi stories, the rolling
Mm-hmm.
calf, all Higue, Duppies, the River Mumma, the Golden Table, and Annie Palmer, the White Witch of Rose Hall, to name a few. So let us trek down memory lane. A Saturday morning runnings. Come, make we talk. Joining me this morning are Jackie Brainbox Tyson. Shernette Mignot Brown will not be joining us this morning, but her heart is beating and pounding, just missing us. Maxine Max Sport Lyons is here. She's in red for some reason. And Jennifer Douglas, aka Miss Jen, will be joining us momentarily. It promises to be an exciting show this morning. Dopey underwater experiences.
Mhm.
Some sayings that is either you sit down and listen or you run under your sheet, go hide, or under your bed. So many things that cause your mind to say, where they get that from? So we want to talk about our Jamaican folklore and West Indian as well. A
Mhm.
mix of people join us here each and every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We apologize for the late start. I had a technical glitch. Nevertheless, we're always on time, so forgive us this morning. Welcome, everyone. You are joining in. Please share the link and say, hey, come make we talk about stuff, Duppy and all.
Mhm.
Morning to Jax. Jax, I love the hat. I can't read it. It's something back
Tongues.
way.
It says hello summer.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
You wear hats well.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, you
Face.
wear
Thank
hats
you,
well.
my peoples.
Yes, you have the form and stuff.
Yes, on the face.
Mhm.
And the
I
height.
can. Man, the hat I do some hats, but I can't do all because I have high cheekbones, hollow jawline, wide forehead. So you have to know how to buy your hat to fit your
You
face.
wear wraps.
Very
Better.
well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it takes off some of the contour and the chiseled look that I carry. Me know my face. So me have to know if it.
Amen.
Mhm,
Exactly. No, me too
mhm.
short for hat. Short. Let me look shorter.
It cover up.
I'll do caps and I'll do wraps, but not hats.
Not hats, yes. I tell you.
Oh
So
my
I trust you
goodness.
all. I am on 3 point little bit of sleep.
Oh
And I
my.
tell you, I feel like after I'm finished, I just need to go lay down if I even 1 hour before I head out on the road. So you must know. Because
Oh
all day
my.
yesterday, ladies, I was just busy, busy. When I got home, I just went right in my bed and lay down and eventually me fall asleep. Then it's like the Lord just tapped me in about the 12:15 a.m. and said, Denise, you don't have nothing up for the show. There is nothing prepared.
Oh Lord.
So, by the time, because I have to go through, find what clips are appropriate, it take a
Right.
while.
Hmm. It
When
takes time.
it
Yeah.
takes time and it wasn't 2 hours. So by
Yes.
the time I was done. It was something to 6.
Night gone already. My gosh.
Anyway,
Mm-mm.
I set the alarm for 9. So I got up, and here I am. So we're going to do
Yeah.
show. By the time we done talk
Yes.
about stuff, I'll be revived.
Yes.
Yes. So good to see you. Um, Looking forward to seeing Jen. So Jen's going
Yeah.
to be joining us. So let's do a quick rundown. Morning to our dear King Ryan. Morning, Ryan. Morning, Andrea.
Morning, wife.
Morning,
Morning,
Vero.
Andrea.
Good
Uh-huh.
Morning,
morning.
So
Daryl.
yes, they're coming in. We see people on, but they're not in the chat. We want to let you know that once you come in, it's nice when you share a note and even to say hi. You might not, thank you, Ryan. You might not be able to type as fast as some people can and have good conversations with us
Mm-hmm.
in the texting world, but just let us know that you're here because there are people who tell me, oh, when I go church, boy, Lady D, you and them ladies, are make me mash up. I'm like, so, look, so, Mr. So,
Marshall.
mash up, then were you there? We can't see you.
Right. Put
Here
up
is
a
our
heart if you
guy.
can't type.
Here is our
Ricky.
guy, Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Morning,
Hey,
Rick.
Ricky. Morning, Rick.
Lord, Ricky, you really brought it last week. We thank you
What?
so much.
Oh my goodness, that
Yeah,
was awesome.
it was good. It was good. So,
Lord.
we're gonna start off this morning. I just wanted to read just a bit of information. I wanted to choose this one because it was written by Nyamichi Jones, student of Campion College. And this was a few years ago, but I will not, this was back in 2019. But I just, as a student, and we're all into the education bit and hearing what's going on with our teachers leaving schools, which is for a myriad of reasons. Certainly not
Mm-hmm.
just the frustration, maybe in the classroom. And so I thought it's so appropriate to use this also as a part of our introductory um, feature to the topic and the show. Folklore is the traditional stories and beliefs that are passed down in society from generation to generation, mostly through word of mouth. Jamaican folklore involves many spirits of mythical creatures that haunt people for various reasons. Folklore is extremely important to our society because of the diverse functions that these tales serve. Folk tales offer an exciting escape from reality and allow new generations to learn and adapt to the beliefs and culture of those before them. Another function of some Jamaican folklore is to discipline children and the secret enjoyment that is gained from scaring them with exciting creatures. Folklore, like the Anansi stories, originated in Ghana, West Africa, and were brought to Jamaica by the Ashanti slaves. From these early beginnings, various stories have been passed down from generation to generation and have established themselves as an integral part of Jamaican culture. Children learn about them in schools, and families continue to pass them down through oral traditions. And I'll stop there. I am wondering if people are still doing that. I know in our generation will be able to, relate. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure. Ricky's still in Jamaica. I'm not sure if he knows people are still, Rick, you can share what you know as well. If people are still doing that, but man, that was a part of our lives. The
Yes.
our
Yes.
library shelves, the shelves or books
Yeah.
stands in the library had books. I remember the one I put in there about the table that was sunken. I remember seeing that in um in a library, and I would sit down and read those things and in awe of these stories. And so we want to share them with you this morning, and you can also share what you know with us because we're here in the classroom together. We don't have
Yeah.
none no brighter than none. So we say good morning to everyone.
I think that Bernard and Nancy's story may have stopped with our generation.
You think so? Yeah, because there are some great Anansi stories. And many of them are so typical to human behavior
Yeah.
from some of us. You see some people do some things and you'd say, come in like brother Nancy, you know.
But that's a Jamaican thing. Brother Nancy is a trickster, you know, man.
I'm
And you
telling
listen,
you.
you find only a trickster in Jamaica.
Yes. Ricky says, no, it's not. The generation and ours is not so interested. Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
but they're funny. Brother Nancy stories are funny, and there's
Yeah.
always a meaning to what the stories are about. That you can relate to life, like a life lesson that you learn from Brother Nancy's stories.
Now, growing up in Penance, I heard about the new, I never met him, the rolling calf.
Oh, Jesus,
Yes, in Penance,
she
we would
never
hear,
met you.
never met him. So I can't say I see no rolling calf.
Never
But,
seen a
you
brother.
know, we heard that it was this tale of this bull and
Yeah.
that had on all kind of something on it. And you could hear when it coming, the trinkling sound, the sounds that
Mm-hmm.
the trinkets would make. I almost created a word, a trinkling sound. Now, where that come from?
Trinkling.
You can make your own dictionary.
So some
You
of these
can make
words
your
come
own
about.
dictionary, that's all right. That's all
Well,
words come about. Somebody had to
Jesus.
create them
I just said to myself,
exactly.
and put meaning to them. It's okay.
what?
So Lady D, you said that they used to in penance the rolling calf was known actually as a bull.
No, that's what they say the rolling calf is.
Okay.
It's a bull. The tail that the folklore tale says that
Mm-hmm.
it's an animal. It's a bull.
It's a cow, actual cow. Yes.
Or cow, whatever,
Yes.
cow, bull, whoever.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
But
I read.
it's so weird though, because I think like we said one of those weeks when we're talking about patois and the sound of patois in different parts of the country.
Mhm.
Rolling calf in my section of the hood is what do you call it? Butcher. When the butcher
Yes,
dead.
that's
Oh,
what
really?
I read. That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
read.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When the butcher
Somebody,
dead. And it's like him Duppy come back with a cow in the form of
yes,
a cow with the
Cow.
trinkets on him and the heap of noise.
and the chains. Yes, I read that
The
too. That's what.
chains, the
Yeah,
chains.
somebody
That's
who
what we
passed
know
away.
as a rolling calf.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I read that
Oh,
too. Yes,
I didn't get the butcher part.
yes, I read
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but they said that he would come in the nights and children would be
Mm-hmm.
scared. People would be scared in general to walk, at nights, and that it
Mm-hmm.
had very glaring eyes in the dark and
Right.
stuff like that. So if you wanted your child to stay in the house, you would scare them by saying you need to get home before the
The
rolling
rolling
calf come.
calf.
Before the rolling calf come out. Yeah, so here
Oh my.
Ricky is agreeing that his grandma, Miss Birdie, says the rolling calf is a bull and it's the ghost of a dead butcher.
A dead butcher. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but that we heard of a lot, and sometimes those things would help you to turn in your yard. As much as I was a walkboat.
I'll know me can't. Let me say, I'll know me can't believe that.
I find it hard to believe too.
Me find it hard to believe the lady was a walkboat.
Believe it. Here, there, and everywhere. All up on Ricky. Rick, bear me up here. Okay. Mhm.
Miss Birdie, not dark yourself home. Tell her to dark yourself home.
Oh, because we were all like family in the community,
Yeah.
like most communities.
Yeah.
Ricky says worse when you have cows in the community and at night. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes the cow gets away.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the cow get away at night, because in my district where I'm from,
Yes.
there was a man who had two nice big brown cows. At least two people in my district that had cows. But the one that lived closest to our house, his cow got
Mm-hmm.
away one night, and I run up and down because it's dark. So it's like the cow
Mm-hmm.
is confused, and the chain and the water view. And I'm telling you, we swear to God, say a rolling calf. Me and my brother, me a shake and me a shake. because back then at night before you go to bed, they would tell Duppy stories.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not giving night and you hear that. You know, think about your neighbor that have a cow. The only thing you can think about is the rolling
And it's
cow.
not, it's a rolling calf. You know, all my children pee bed, Lady D, because of them top bed.
Yes, ma'am.
Because just to get up,
was one of
remember the chimney right underneath the bed, you know. And just so them get up off the bed and go use the chimney.
Yes, it's fear itself.
And you better not, and
Yes.
the lamp in the room better not cast a shadow on the wall that look funny. If you
No,
look
man.
away, you know, it's a duppy.
Oh, you know, so and as we are talking about the Duppy, you know, you had some real good Duppy stories. My uncle Lloyd, aka Brother Lloyd Trenton. Yeah, because he loves pork.
Pork.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Ricky says, believe it or not, it's true. No street light, that worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
All in my
I used
district.
to wet bed just because of Duppy stories was being told at night. Not only that, they used to hang. Back then, used to put, you know, even have no closet. They put no clothes. So they used to have nails on the wall and they would hang clothes on there. And
Mhm.
when they put that lamp out and you see that clothes hanging on the wall, you swear to God, you know.
You know,
I
you-
know.
You know, get up
Yes.
the shadow.
You swear to God, somebody talking in the room over here.
Yes. Well, here
That's why
Ricky.
my bed wetting for long because of that.
Yes, here Ricky saying the other thing that frighten people is banana trash on the
Oh, Lord.
banana tree in the moonlight and
Yes.
breeze and blow.
Breeze and blow it, and it start to, and it go so.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Right.
Oh, my
Morning,
goodness.
Princess. Oh, Princess sent me a note, Ricky. Look who are coming here, so now, Lord.
Hey,
Here who comes. So, Ricky,
Jen.
and just you know, a bit of
How are you,
PSA.
Sister Jen?
Morning, Jen. But Princess sent me a note not too long ago. All right, so let me read it from my. Yeah, Princess sent me. Ricky, did you know that? Let me see if I find it quickly, so I can just mention it as we're talking about. That Miss Yours is celebrating her 95th birthday.
Wow.
Oh.
From, you know, she was a teacher at our primary school, John Austin. Yes, she's celebrating her 95th. So hoorah.
Happy birthday, Miss Yours.
That's right.
Happy birthday. Yeah, that's a real good number.
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't
A
know.
pleasant good morning to you,
That's a
Jen. We are here
Good
talking
morning.
about Duppy,
Rolling calf.
rolling calf,
Okay.
Duppy,
And that's why I decided to put on my dashiki today, because every time we're talking about
Oops.
folklore, I always put on this because it's originated from Africa, and all our folklores and everything, Jamaican things, they know it's from where their ancestors brought it to them from.
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It's
I'm
it's
here
it,
on
this
Duppy.
dashiki.
I'm here
This
wearing.
dashiki look is what I put on when I'm talking about Brother Nancy and all those folklores and all those Duppy stories.
Yeah.
I'm a
From
straw
there.
hat.
There you
Yes.
go.
Well,
And
the straw hat is necessary because we always bake in the sun, so we always need something to cover our head
Mm-hmm.
and cover the shade. We always look in shade, whether a straw hat, piece of towel, or something. We have to
Send me
cover our
piece of
head.
towel. Send me
We
piece
always
of
walk
towel
in the
here.
sun. Okay. Yes. Yes. So folklore for me is very important because it's all about the culture. I'm a culturist, as I would say to myself. I've traveled to Africa because I wanted to know where my ancestors, a lot of Jamaicans and West Indians on a whole, claiming that they are from their country, that they are originated from Jamaica or Trinidad or whatever. But my philosophy is that you have to know where you come from before you can go forward. And
Yeah.
I have to I have to study the culture of Africa, because that's how I will know how to move forward with my life and how to instill discipline and how to moral and values and all of that. And if you notice all the other countries, when they instill culture, their children kind of more successful in life, because if you don't know where you're coming from, you'll be all over the place wondering what is next, what is next. But we know what is next. We know as Black people, or whatever culture you're from, you have to work hard for what you want, because nobody just take up money off the street. Everybody has to work hard, and there's a culture why we have to do it. And that's why I go around and tell my Anansi stories, because Anansi was a very tricky man, and they always claim that Black people are very tricky and Africans are tricky and scammers and all these things. But sometimes you have to, we have to kind of understand that to get around life, sometimes it's not about playing trick, but about trying to survive. It's survival is for most people, it's survival, but playing trick is not good. I'm not going to promote scamming.
I think Anansi's stories too were to show you how smart this little person was, how he could outsmart the big so-called king of the jungle.
Yes.
So he could outsmart and when you put it when you relate that to real life, there are real life lessons when you put it together. Take out the trickery and the smart.
Story. Yeah,
so smart.
Yeah. I had an original story that I wrote, and it's about Duppy. And it's like when I was a little girl, I used to cry for combing my hair, and I remember I rearranged the whole thing into my little story, and I told the story of how this little girl, she was afraid to comb her hair, and her brother would dress up and like a Duppy and scare her, so she would comb her hair. So I would hear, when I start to cry, when my mother don't even have to put the comb into my hair, I would hear ooh, 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 coming in a white sheet. A white sheet covered his head, and ooh. And I would, my mother, and I was scared, and I would say, "Oh, the Duppy come," and I would sit quietly and comb my hair. And he did it for a while, and then one day he was trying to dress up to scare me, and he said, "Ooh," and him hear somebody say, "Ooh," and he said, "Wait, what is going on here?" Ooh, and him hear the person say, "Ooh," and the person, and he say, "Who that?" And the person say, "Who that?" I say, "Who that?" When me I say, "Who that?" And he run. I run over, and he come over to, he say, "Who?" Somebody I say, "Who that?" I say, "Who that?" And everybody here say, "Who that?" I say, "Who that?" When me I say, "Who that?" And everybody get up and run away. So, he might play a Duppy, but the Duppy frightening.
So here is, oh my Lord, it's so nice to see you, Ian. We call him Doggy.
Hi, Ian.
Ian. I remember Ian.
Doggy. No, not this one. This is another. This is Ian McCarthy. Okay. Yes, we grew up penance together. So I have 3 penance peeps on with me. Morning. So
nice.
Doggy says, "Ricky, I lost my mind one night thinking I'd seen a Duppy. In the morning, I checked, and it was the stump from a dead mango tree."
I forgot to say good morning to everybody. Good morning and greetings to all.
Good morning.
I miss Shernet though. I miss Shernet. I miss Shernet.
Sharon's have other meetings, so she couldn't come.
But you know what, ladies?
There's one of my schoolmates from high school is on, Michelle Stalin. Welcome, Michelle.
Good morning, Michelle. Welcome, Michelle. So, Doggy,
do share.
Michelle, please share the link with someone, and when you share it, please ask them to subscribe for me. But it's good to have you guys on. I haven't seen you in a bit.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, as kids growing up, before you go to bed at night, now that Ricky mentioned about the tree stump, you would see that tree stump during the day, and you see it all of your life.
Right.
At night, you know before you go to bed that the clothes were hanging on the nails. So why is it when you hold me high and it get dark, you think that it's Duppy?
Yeah,
And
you
you know
suspect.
beforehand that this thing was hanging there.
Yeah.
Your mind playing tricks on you.
Nice.
We never know that.
Your
No,
eyes.
I'm looking back, I'm wondering why, because
Yeah.
it's not like it wasn't there before. It was there before. Yes, still afraid and I think of Duppy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people afraid of dead body more than live body. If a dead body drop out a coffin, everybody run.
Yes, sir.
But a man have a gun to shoot everybody. Everybody run to see how we go shoot.
Yeah, they run toward the danger, right?
Towards it.
Yeah, they
People
run
afraid
toward
of
the
Duppy.
danger.
If you
No,
tell
Jamaicans do
yourself,
that.
somebody say you dead, and you're never dead, but you come walk in at the ceremony. You watch these
Yeah.
African movies, them a walk, the people over them say dead. Them a bury them, you know, but them walk in at the place. Everybody run out of the chair. But make a gunman there. All them go hide in the same building and say, or whatever.
That's why I say I watch
I know.
That's
So
funny.
you've heard of, well, many of us are aware that there was this woman who they called Annie Palmer,
Mhm.
the White Witch of Rose Hall. Have you ever been to that site, that great house
Yes.
in which she lived?
Yeah.
Yes.
Stories.
And
Yeah,
so
I've
they
been there.
said that she had murdered, several of her husbands.
Yeah.
Mhm. And many people have said that they have gone there, but I don't know if it's true that they see like furniture moving,
And
or
like,
they hear a sound in a room,
yes,
because
I've heard that.
while the tour guides are
Mhm.
sharing the tales with their guests and so on, you hear them saying, oh, they think they see or they hear something,
And they have a picture
and they have
that,
a picture.
yeah, when you look at the picture, you see the like the outline behind some furniture or something. I don't remember exactly what's on the picture, but like there's an outline, like a faint look of a person,
Somebody
like
of a person
somebody.
in the
So
back.
I remember I went there on a tour one day because I used to work with the tourist board, actually TPD Co, and we went there on a tour one day, and there were some tourists in there with us. And when they saw the picture, the man looked at his wife and seemed like another friend that was there, and he said, Photoshop. That's the first time I heard about Photoshop.
Right?
That was the first time I heard of Photoshop.
Yeah, Photoshop. True. So
But like,
here Ricky says, Duppy and fright is not logical, especially after them frightened we as picnic. Duppy afraid of red and all sorts of things.
Hence my red blouse.
That means a Ricky experience Duppy, because I don't know of no color business, but they always say garlic and then something there around Duppy, and if you do garlic and honey and all these things, But I think it's just the folklore. I just think it's just the whatever the older folks did, and then it carried the story because these kids nowadays, you tell them about Duppy, them not even look for you.
they laugh after you, man.
Looking at you. They don't know
Yeah,
what.
no
But if
clue.
you had told them the stories and but no, they have different types of Duppy now. You have the Dracula, and the more modern types of Duppies. But if you tell them about the ancient rolling calf and all those things, they're not gonna know what it's that.
that
I
is.
wouldn't know.
Yeah. Ricky
Yeah,
says three-wheel coffin with the
with the drunk room.
drunk asking for Mr. Brown. I know. I don't know whoever
I
heard
was
Mr. Brown.
scared to death all in the middle day and live in Jamaica and hear that story.
Yes.
Middle of the day, I'm home alone and I'm afraid to go outside and go watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the three-wheel coffin. Come here, look to see up here at my gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Mr.
I've never heard
Brown.
of the three-wheel coffin though. I've never heard of it.
Jen, remember South Town you come from?
Expound on
Yeah.
the three-wheel coffin.
Country now. We hear all these stories.
well, there's a story, but this is a true story, guys. The three-wheel coffin, it happened in Mandeville, where Norman is from. Somebody went in the market, the market, the Saturday market, to go on and market big and busy, and somebody go in there and announce that the coffin with the tree junker was over by the police station. Everybody in that run on to go to the station to see the coffin. And everybody got robbed. Because while they run to go see the coffin with the junker on it, looking for Mr. Brown, and while they were gone to see the person announced that the people took their goods.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever heard about Shirley Duppy?
Yes.
Yes.
It was right in my backyard. I was the first person heard the sound. And these people were living, they were my neighbors.
The first person who heard the sound
In the house. I was cleaning up the coop and cleaning up the backyard. They lived behind us. So they were cleaning up the sound, and I hear somebody that say, "I will send you." And the response say, "The Lawrence, I will send you." And the voice said, I'm going to call my mother. My mother was alive then. We were living in Franklin Town. It's a Franklin Town. And I heard the sound and I said, Mama, listen to this. You see, it became a big thing. People from St. Thomas all over came because these people decided to play a trick to get money and fame and all of that. And they took my cat. It's a cat they took. They took my cat. And every time them want to ball, them squeeze the cat and the cat go meow. And people were coming through my gate. I could have charged money for them to come just to hear the sound of the cat. I was a little
Really, Jen?
It was right in my backyard. Right in my back. I knew the people very well. I knew the girl.
What?
Everybody. You understand? I was the first person who heard the sound. And I knew it was a lie. I knew nothing was like that. She was recording. They were recording different sounds. And then so people can think, say, Adi Lawrence and stuff. These people, I don't know where they ended up, but we moved and moved from the area. I lived there. That's where I was born and grew and bred, right in Franklin Town, right on Northumberland Lane. I'm not lying. And I was the first person who heard the sound of the crying. And it became big music, big this. I could have made popularity with that. But I said, no, I'm not going to do those things out and stuff. They were just doing it. But
yes, we heard about Shirley Duppy.
Thank you for enlightening us. Thank you for enlightening us.
Yeah.
Shirley Duppy was not a real thing. Was not people used to study the Lawrence. The Lawrence. I know you hear about the Lawrence. I'm not so familiar with the Lawrence, but I've heard about people using the Lawrence and saying the Lawrence is real and so forth. Let me tell you, the only person that is real is God. Anything other than that is unbelievable. No Duppy that is going to do those things. I'm not saying there's not spirit. You have bad spirit and good spirit. You have spirits, and some spirit will come up in the form of a man. Some spirit will come up in the form of angels, and there are different types of ways spirit. But I knew those people were not having any form of no spirit more than to make money.
But can I
thank you for that.
I want to share this true story. When I say true, something that I saw as a child growing up. I'm from St. Mary, that's where I grew up. And I used to go to church on Sabbath, Seventh-day Adventist. That's the religion I grew up in. And there was this family living in a little district called Ranch. And they said that the Lawrence used to trouble them. They would be in the house at night or day, and they hear stone dropping on the house, on the roof. And they wouldn't see where the stone is coming from. They would only hear it on the roof. And the mattresses on their bed would get burned at the four corners. Just start a fire. And they burn the whole thing. Just the four corners, the mattress would burn. And we coming from church, we stopped there to see for ourselves. And there were piles of stones in their yard. And I saw it with my own two eyes, the stones. And I saw the burned mattress corner. They showed it to us. They eventually moved from there. I don't know how, but I saw the mattress beside the corners of the mattress that were burned and the piles of stones. And they said because they owed the Lawrence. The Lawrence was some people that lived abroad. So I don't know how if they could have made up a story where they burned their own mattress and right. But I saw with my own eyes. I didn't understand it back then as a child in detail. But now when I look back, I realize, something must have happened. I don't know what.
Okay, so I want to just recant a little bit because I remember when when the children of Israel were being led out, and Pharaoh he cast his spell too. So the devil do allow you to cast spells and do evil stuff. So he cast a spell with the snake, and also Moses cast his rod, and it became a snake. But his snake gobbled up. So the power, God's power is stronger. That's what it wants to say. So if you dealt yourself into these myths and stuff, then you're going to be a part of it. It's real, but you don't have to be a part of it. It's there, but you don't have to be a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Believe, killer, believe.
From I was a child, I've been hearing of Black Art Man.
Yeah.
And I still I'm not too certain what a Black Art Man is.
Somebody will take a
Yeah,
people.
we have heard that.
Hey, somebody will do what?
Take a people picnic. When we were growing up, they told us that if you're coming from school and you hear a car coming, you run in the bush and hide, because if once you hear a car, it's Black Art Man. Because back then, cars were not privileged. There were not a lot of cars. So if you hear one coming, it must be a Black Art. You run in the bush and hide until that car passes.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, we see here about running in the bush and hide.
It's in some of the African stories too, because you have people, they call them blood, they call it blood money. And sometimes you give sacrificial to your family to gain money. So they do take your heart out. They do take different parts of your body and they sell it. And they sacrifice it to whatever gods they want to. So they do that.
And they travel along lonely countryside.
Yes.
And see, they would go after children, boys and girls.
My.
And then what they say is that they lure children into their black, creepy, hearse-looking cars.
Yes.
Cards.
And so they would tempt them with sweets.
Yes.
Children, you say, hey,
it's being done now. It's being done still now, Lady D. It's being a lot of
the modern day Black Art Man.
Yes.
If you have healthy children, they're taking them now, selling their hearts, their liver, organ hustling, like organ thing. So they do it still up till today, but they don't come into a hearse thing anymore. They're coming in nice cars and things like normal people. So you have to be very wary of people, because they are evil people around. So
they would cut the heart out, and so these are folk tales, right? They would cut the heart out and eat them. I don't know if the truism. I really don't. We have only heard these things. Not sure if they are like they're in existence.
So has any one of you ever run down a river, like near 12 o'clock, to see if you see the golden table?
No, because I've heard of the golden table, but no, never.
River in the night.
Well, the golden table is from when they remember when Christopher Columbus came, or the Spanish came, and gold was there from when the Arawaks were there, gold and all these things, because they brought them up in the slavery time. So the golden table, I think, was one of the treasured pieces that was that went down to the bottom of the sea. Because they've claimed that gold are still in. They're still digging for gold now in Jamaica. That's why bauxites are being established and all of that. They feel like gold
and over in Port Royal.
Yeah, Port Royal. Because when the earthquake came, that was when everything went under the sea. So it's like all, because I think Port Royal, I heard, was a very rich area. It was a very
richest
area. So all the gold went under. So they feel like that little area is like very delicate right now, because they feel gold is still there. They're very deep. If you hear about the Blue Lagoon, there's a bottomless water in Jamaica that nobody can go as far as, or you're gone. You understand me? So
yeah, I know the Blue Lagoon. Been there.
Yeah.
I have a friend who dove it. He was a diver, and his parents came from. We used to work with the same dive company. His parents came from Canada. And we went to the Blue Lagoon, and he jumped down in the water while we were on the raft. We were on a raft on top, and he went down as deep as he could. And he said it went down like a funnel.
Mm-hmm.
He said that,
It's like
and he
it's like
could only
Bermuda
go.
Triangle. You don't have any end.
Yeah, it
Bermuda
goes down
Triangle.
deep down in the earth as a funnel, like a
Yeah.
funnel, and he
He can
couldn't
be sucked.
go.
He could have been sucked in, as good as a swimmer he
Yeah.
was. He could have been sucked in,
Yes.
But
Yeah,
lady,
but
you
you know,
mentioned about I know we're on the Duppy thing, but you mentioned about the folklore, and as she was mentioning, there are some sayings that we usually go by. Some sayings that our mother taught us. Like my mother, best saying that she taught in the old folklore was time. She talked about time.
Mm-hmm.
Time. She said, what they said, time no longer than rope.
Rope.
Time,
longer
yeah,
than rope.
rope
Mm-hmm.
longer than rope. So time has no end. Time,
Yes, absolutely, that's true.
yeah, time.
Mm-hmm.
And they also say if you put donkey matter in an eye, you can see duppy. Anybody ever hear that one?
Yes,
No,
I heard about the dog matter.
no, but
The dog matter.
well, I don't know that
Dog
one,
and
but
donkey.
I know they say that if you wash your face in unprocessed, not white rice, you will see the ability to see the duppy.
You hear about
Wow.
the donkey matter in
I
your
Yes,
eye?
never hear that one, lady. Never hear
rice
that.
water.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and
No,
also
sir.
that you if you are targeted by evil, you should wear your clothes
On the
on the
wrong
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 side.
side.
Yes.
So hear that?
Yes, you hear about wearing the clothes by wrong side to run
God
dumpy.
of
And
mercy.
if you put umbrella over your head in your house, you're
You're
not
not
get married.
married.
Right.
I get married, yes. You hear about that one
Yes.
too.
Or
And if you peel
go ahead, Jack.
peel orange skin, if you peel orange and you peel it all the way without it breaking,
Mm-hmm.
you're going married.
Or they say if you believe that you're followed by a duppy, light 3 matchsticks.
Yes.
Throw one, throw two, but don't throw the third one.
Don't throw the third
They will
one.
stop and try to find the third while you make your way. You get away from this.
I like foolish.
Now here is this one. If coming from outside, walk back way to go into your house. Now
Yes.
I saw Princess. Well, I think it was Max who was talking, but Princess had shared a little story. She says, "Oh yes, I have on school trip. You should see me tiptoeing and hoping I would see that's Annie Palmer. See her to start walking
Walking
backwards."
backwards.
Ricky says, I was fascinated with folklore from all around the world, Russia, Europe, Asia, Africa, but the scariest figure for is a Doen from Trinidad. Okay.
Doing? What about that? I've never heard of that.
No, I mean,
Share.
Mm-hmm. De Lawrence is linked to a man named William Lauren De Lawrence.
Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Very good,
Yeah.
Ricky. Thank you.
Yes, and also, so I see the one about the dog matter, but I didn't know about the dog matter. When you spit, say, "Take me spirit, but not take me blood," and
yes.
then you make a cross.
I don't know if they usually use ashes, but when a baby is born in Africa, they put a cross, like an ashes cross
On the forehead. I've seen my grandmother done that.
What do we use? We use ashes in Jamaica too?
Yes, my grandmother used to deliver babies. She was not trained, she couldn't even read, but she could deliver babies. She delivered some of my siblings and lots of people in the district. And on occasions, I would go with her for delivery, especially if it's at night, she get called that this person ready to have a baby. And she would let the back and forth and go in whichever place they live. And when the baby is born and she wash off the baby, bathe him, she would use ashes and put it across in the forehead.
Okay.
Wow.
And they use thread. Sometimes they use a piece of white thread too.
I used to put a little white, like the nappy, pull out the thread on the nappy and just wet it and put it on the baby, on my son.
Or people put matchstick. People put matchstick.
People put matchstick.
Yeah, they create a cross, get the matchstick, create the cross, and just tape it down and put it on.
Oh, yeah. No, we never hear about that one there.
Have you ever heard about the River Mumma? You've heard
Yes.
about River
I
Mumma?
mean, it was one of
It's
the
a
Jamaican.
Yes, it's a popular
Yes, correct.
personage of urban legends of Jamaica. Legend says that River Mumma inhabits the rivers of Jamaica, and all the fish are River Mumma's children. Sometimes people say River Mumma rises out of the river to sit on the rocks and comb her long black
Comer.
hair.
Mm-hmm.
I used to
It's like
see
a
that.
And
mermaid.
especially
It's
if
like
it's a river
mermaid.
that has
A mermaid.
rocks in it, big rocks in it, the River Mumma going to come up and sit on it.
And
And
if you
me
be
use
surprised, the originated from River Mumma, I think, I just saying me, that you ever hear people talk about Mother Africa. They never say Father Africa. They always say Mother
Yes.
Africa. Mothers are the cream of the earth. And that is why Mother's Day is so significant. Because not that fathers are not important, but the mothers have the say in everything you do. Even the husbands, they will talk and say them are the breadwinner, but if the woman don't give the last talk, it's not going to work.
True. That.
Even when a woman is getting married, the mother has the last say. She always said, "Let me go talk to your father." You ever hear that? Let me go talk to your father. Yeah. So the River Mumma now, I think the significance of it is that the mother, the African tradition of being Mother Africa, it comes across to the other islands. That mother. So the River Mumma has some significance with that. That's what I believe.
Okay. They said it was I read that it was a female spirit hanging out at the riverside, and it would mostly come out at night. Yeah.
But another thing, going back to the golden table, we used to hear as kids that at Flatbridge, that's where the golden table would come up. There are certain times when the golden table would rise out of the water at Flatbridge as kids. So when we're going to Kingston Side, we used to look forward to crossing Flatbridge because we thought that we were going to see the golden table.
Yeah.
Because
Right. Oh my goodness. But you know something? The more we are talking about it, it's the more we realize how much of our culture we were actually gobbling up. You know, people were sharing, and some people were having some really extreme circumstances and experiences, while others were not. Some people just went through life, no matter where you come from. But there were men who had some great experiences.
I can appreciate certain things now because looking back at these, I'm so glad that our family or my grandmother used to tell us great stories at night, especially things that happened to her and her family. And my sister and I were having the same conversation 2 nights ago about sharing these stories so the new generation can hear them. But what for me is great is that now we can connect them to our roots and realize that a lot of it is coming from Africa. Thank God for the internet and people now crossing borders. So the world is not that big anymore. We can now connect these stories to where they're actually coming from for real. You know, you will have people who can confirm that this is from where. So Jennifer has gone to Ghana, and she can make that connection for us and say this actually is a tradition from Ghana and so on. I like that. So our traditions are important.
And I've been trying to include little clips here and there. So I'd like to share a clip with Louise Bennett between Jen and Max, because I didn't ask you guys earlier, but you don't have any pieces. You have Kuya. You see now.
Okay,
all right.
I told my Duppy story already. So
you told yours. So Max, I'll allow you to go ahead, and then afterwards I'll play a clip.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to go through it too in detail, but I'm gonna try and read this one. It's from Louise Bennett, from her book Selected Poems by Louise Bennett, and this piece entitled Rolling Cow. Be deaf and ears, me can't tap now, for Tata John are dead. The other night one rolling cow lick him in him head. It's a long story, my child. We really can't tap now. You must have heard the Tata last. In black and white bull cow. 3 nights a day him search for it. Couldn't find it none at all. So 10 nights afore last him say, him hear one cow a ball. Me make Figgins open land. Though him and them no agree, and see the bull that lie down underneath one bongo tree. Him take a rope and tie the bull, and then he broke a stick, and him labor upon the cow back. Me turn a yard and hear the lick. Him start to lead her home, but when him turn round fi go call, him see the sinting two eye them a roll like thunderball. Him go fi holler, but sometime him feel a funny pain. But same time him feel a funny pain. And when him look in him hand, the rope turn in a chain. Massa, him fling away and run. Him hear the sinting laugh. It wasn't for him cow at all, it was a rolling calf. Him jump break Caleb wire fence. Him faint and catch him home and catch home. And since him can't come back to himself, him this a twist turn and form. Me can't up. He's a hobia man. Them send fi go catch. Me feel him yaya jump. He might have dead before me catch.
Yeah. Thank you, Max.
I didn't go through.
So I have a true story before I. So right here in New York, I was walking, doing my morning walk a few years ago, walking in a park right here, and I usually stay on the upper level so that while cars are passing, they can see you. So I never go by the ravine. You had people who would walk along that very desolate area, but I did not do that. I would stay up top. One morning in particular, and this was like say 6:30 a morning. I am walking and I saw a man and a woman cross over by, I think that would have been, because I'd walked very far down. So it's like, say, coming down 212, come across the street and just walked right down. And they were walking a distance away from me, but I could see them. I remember them to this day. The lady was tall, light-skinned. She was wearing a yellow T-shirt and a blue bottom. And the gentleman, short, dark blue shirt. And he had one of those little male pouches and brown pants. Can't forget. And they're walking and talking. So I'm walking behind them, and there were some people further behind me. So I was with them in that area, but they were still a distance away. As I'm walking, all of a sudden, I don't see the two people. I mean, there was nowhere else for them to go. If they were going to go left, I would have seen them. If they're going straight, I'm still seeing them. And if they chose to turn right, I would see them. I don't see these two people. So I stopped. Because at first I said, I wonder if they're going to go by that ravine area, where the ravine is. So I would just say, all right, let me walk there. So this morning. When I look, I don't see them. So I stopped and I said, where are the two people? To the point where I was so shocked. I am looking around, I've been around looking. I even walked over to the right side where you have a bench right there where people can sit. I even walked to go see if I was so lost. So I got on the phone same time and I called my Auntie Paula. I said, Auntie Paula, I just saw two people and then they simply disappeared in 6:30 a morning. I am telling you, as of this day, this thing has been, I have not forgotten it.
Look
the
like
two
you're
people, if it matter.
Yes, enough.
The two people disappear.
Did you ever know them? Did you ever see them before?
My second encounter, is two times in my lifetime. I have seen them kind of mysterious something.
Okay.
One time when I was a little girl, before I went to Clarendon to live.
I mean, did I see?
Again. Seriously.
I believe
two times in my life I've seen. And that's why, huge straw hats that market women tend to wear. Anytime I see a straw hat like that, and you remember they used to have some little black market women. When as a child I used to see them wear them, some little black shoes with some little holes on the top. They
Yes.
wore them to market.
Yeah.
Every time, I'm telling you, as I sit here talking to you, my mother, my sister and myself, I was about maybe 4 or 5, because it wasn't long after I went to Clarendon at age 7, and it wasn't long after that. So we were living somewhere in Rollington town,
Oh, yeah, I used to live in
and
Fountain Town, yeah.
I used to live in Rollington town, then went to Harborview, then to Old Hope Road, all about. Anyway, so we were asleep, and then I heard a sound. Can I tell you? When I jump up as a little girl, sit up in the bed, there was a woman, a black woman in that same. It looked like she used to. I don't know if she did rent that room or what happened, but she was walking, crawling around the bed. She had on her market clothes with the hat, as I telling you. And I screamed, and my mother jumped up same time, and she saw her, and we jump and huddle into a corner, and then she just moved towards the door, and we don't see her.
Wow.
That was it. Twice in my life.
Never
I've
slapped,
seen.
never slapped me yet.
Can I share something? All right, this happened in 2019. So this is not long ago. I went to work in Manhattan. I usually wake up really early. When I get to Manhattan in the mornings, it's before 7:30. And I have to catch a bus from where I used to live to the 5 train, and then take the 5 train to 96th Street, to 59th Street. Got off, hustled over to work, hustle back. Over to work. That day, I decided to give blood at work. Because if you gave blood, they're connected to the blood bank, which is just up the block. But at my job, if you give blood, you earn a day. Okay. So I gave blood that day, and I gave quite a bit of blood. I thought I had enough to eat. So I don't give blood unless I have enough to eat and I feel well enough. So I sat there for a little bit. This was after my work day. I sat there for a little bit, and they made sure they gave me something to drink and stuff. So I headed out to the train station to come back home now. This is evening. By the time I took the train from 59th, by the time I got to 149th Street, I started feeling funny. The train was packed to the T, and I was standing holding on to the bars. I said to the person sitting next to me, I said, I think I'm going to fall. And I was just about going on like this, and everybody started to get up, and they made some way, and I sat down. And this lady, she had on a nurse uniform, and she gave me a bottle of water. And she said, I'll stay with you. And she gave me the bottle of water. I drank the water. And I held my head back. I was so weak. I felt like I was going to die. I saw lots of little black dots and everything in my eyes. They could have done anything to me. They could have taken anything from me that day because I was out of it. And that lady sat with me, and she fanned me, and I drank the water. And she asked me where I was going. I said, I'm coming off at the last stop. So she said, okay, I'm coming off at that stop too. And I said, I have to take the bus afterwards to where I live. She said, I have to take the bus too, because it's only the 16 bus that runs there. We got off a train. She held on to my hand. We got on the bus. And when we got to 233rd and 233rd and Baychester, that's where she got off. She said, this is my stop. And I revived a little by then. And she said, and I said, thank you so much, because I have only 2 stops left. And she said, that's where I'm going. She pointed to that house right at the corner at 233rd and Baychester Avenue. And she said that's where she's going. And the bus drove off. I knew she walked towards the gate, but I actually didn't see her go inside because the bus drove off. And Lady D, the next day, I went back to that house to thank the lady. And when I went to the house, nobody knew who I was talking. They had no clue.
That's a good spirit. That's a good
They had
spirit
no
I'm
clue
talking about.
who I was talking.
Yeah,
That was an angel.
I described the lady, and she was wearing a nurse uniform, scrubs. They said, nobody live here like that, miss.
yeah, it's a good spirit.
So
God sent
unless she once lived there.
Unless she once lived there. I
Maybe
don't know, but God
sometime.
sent her that day.
Yeah. Man.
God sent her.
That was your
These are
angel.
the things. I tell my son these things, you know, because these are there are still angels walking among us.
Yes.
And I tell my son to be aware of these. And he has had his own experiences. And for that, I'm glad. And he was able to give that testimony at church, his experience.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why we need to share our stories with our children.
Yes. Good people gather good spirits, you know. God sent, you know, for protection. You have spirit of protection, angel of protection, angel of all different things, nature. So it's a part of it.
I thank you for thank you. We're all having sharing moments here, and that's so good. Now here is Chris Wilby, CEO of Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, my good buddy, who is now teasing me. Who is now teasing me? So you see, Duppy Lady D.
Chris.
And Princess says, your head never grow big. Them said that's what happened when you see Duppy.
Yes,
Yeah.
And you eat some salt. So when you raise big, you eat some salt.
My good friend Cammy, morning Cam. She says, real talk, spirits do roam as the devil agents. That's right. And so as we're going through, here is a saying, when digging the earth to build a house, to appease the spirits, the blood of a bird, fowl or pigeon, and white rum is sprinkled at the four corners.
Yes.
I've seen people do those things.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And they say, when you're
beating a Congo drum, a lot of people just beat drums. They cannot do that. They claim that you have to sprinkle rum or stuff, or you have something to do with the drum. The drum evokes spirits, can evoke bad spirits. So you have to be able, if you're beating a drum, don't just beat it like that, because it can evoke spirits.
I know of that. I was in 4-H, went to do dance down at Denby, and a primary school. I don't remember what primary school that was now. They were doing a dance, and the drummer got so carried away along with one of the dancers that the whole scene got out of control, because they were started to invoke some stuff there, and they had to cut it because she dancing and start our eye roll over and all kind of stuff, and they realized and they jumped in right away. And
I don't take my drum. Yeah, I don't take my drum everywhere I go, and I make sure that I am covered under something, because if I just do the little baby drums. I don't really beat the big drums very regularly. But even in the church, they have these drummings. Most church don't accommodate drumming, like bongo drums a lot, especially in their service, because it can evoke bad spirits and can get onto people who are not really, covered under the blood.
Just to switch a bit. Oh, go ahead, Max.
So I just wanted to share this quickly, that growing up to what, I don't know if you're aware of this, but when somebody, like for example, a wife and husband, and the husband passed away, the wife would have to wear black underwear.
So we're here.
Remember I said it once
we're here
on the program, but it's not. It's just to cover her, because he will come back for her.
That's what I heard.
So we're here.
Come back for her and cause very great damage. So I was, my grandmother was sewing hers. When my grandfather was passing, he made hers and tied. The foot have to be very tight. The waist have to be tight that they don't come back for them.
The
They
foot
will
have to
come
be
back.
very tight. So what happened to your circulation?
I mean, because I heard that when they come 3 times the size. So they will.
So what about the tape measure on your waist? No.
Oh my
So what about the tape measure? The tape measure she have to wear on her waist.
When them husband dead and 90-year-old woman, poor woman. So she have to store baggy from how much days before.
Lord help me, Jesus. No, sir.
So
anybody
ever
you have to wear the black underwear for how much days before.
Oh, help me, Jesus. Okay, so anybody here have heard about Old Higue?
Yes.
Old Higue is
But
a
what
witch.
is that?
She's a witch who sheds her skin and flies by night,
Lord.
assuming the
Old
form of
Higue?
an. Yes, man, I've heard it. I've
No,
heard.
me hear
I've
them
heard
call people
before.
old Higue.
Yeah, somebody said they say you're all like.
Yes,
Old
you're
Higue,
old Higue.
yes.
So she's a witch. Right,
witch.
she's
I
a
didn't know it
witch.
was a person.
So she's a witch who
I've never
sheds her
heard that she was a
skin.
witch, but I hear
Oh, no,
the
give
name.
me a minute. Old Higue is a witch who sheds her skin and flies by night, assuming the form of an owl. She harms people by sucking out their breath while they are sleeping and is especially dangerous to babies. Old Higue's habit
My
of shedding her
goodness.
skin leaves her vulnerable. If you discover her skin, you merely need to put salt and pepper on it. She will be unable to put her skin back on because it will burn her too much. Aye. Without her skin, she can be killed. Babies can be protected from Old Higue by placing an open Bible in their cribs or by using certain charms of West African origin. Old Higue is not confined to Jamaican folk tales, although she may be known by other names. In Trinidad, she's called Sukuyan. Just to drop that in there. So sometimes
Wow.
when you see they're putting Bible in crib or Bible over baby head or something. Yeah.
I know about the salt and
I think that's
pepper
why they put
thing.
the ashes too. I think that's where the ashes came from too.
Yeah.
To ward
I
off.
know about the salt and
Evil
pepper
spirits.
thing, but I didn't know it was related to Old Higue. We think Old Higue are like one old lazy nasty somebody, you know. Something like that.
Lord. So, you know, they're also what they call like luck and successes. So they say when a child's, so here it is. When a child's teeth falls out, he says, "Rat-a-tat-a, take me old teeth and give me new teeth.
Yes.
A new one will grow," right?
Yes.
Or they say,
Yeah.
spilling salt is bad luck. So throw some over your shoulder back way to correct or reverse that. Oh dear.
Imagine how we
You know what?
But in the Italian household, when they're cooking, they when they put salt in the pot, they throw some over their shoulder. That's it. That's in an
But this
Italian
one,
household.
Lady D, when a glass break in your house, don't worry. It
Broke off the crosses.
crosses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I remember, Christoph's grandmother, from his father's side, whenever rain falling, you know, as long as Auntie Joan is home, whenever rain falling, make lightning never flash. Every mirror cover up.
Yeah, we used to cover our mirrors.
If
Cover
lightning
mirror.
flash, she covering up every mirror in the house. Or any little glass that's exposed, then cover up.
When
So-
lightning, listen to this. This is a joke. When lightning and flash me go outside because I gotta take my picture.
Take me picture.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
we hear that.
Yeah, we know that one. That one. So Sharon says, losing money at home and no one steals it. Kill a fowl and sprinkle blood in every corner of the house and it will stop.
Oh, wait, I say.
So here is
We
this
know, but
person.
when-
I'm much older than any of you, and it's the first I ever heard what that old Higue meant. Lord of mercy.
What? Who's that person?
I
Reveal
don't-
thyself.
Yeah, and somehow when they were maybe setting up this YouTube thing, you see it, the name is not there, so I can't even say who the
Yes.
name is.
Yeah.
So Charles, it says, yes, I used to hear my mother said they suck out your blood. So that, yeah. Mhm.
All right. So me know, this lady, she lived next door to my grandmother. She have some issues with some people and some partner money. She come up on my grandmother's house. I was a little girl, never understand a thing that was happening. She come up on my grandmother's house and she asked my grandmother if she have what you call it, a big key. So my grandmother did have a key that closed one of the middle doors, the big, those big key.
Yeah,
We have
old
the
time
two little
key,
fork thing at the front, right? She have a key and she have argue about the part of money with the people and she take up the Bible. She asks, she carry the Bible in her hand. I said, she go and find out who thief the money today and whatever.
Oh,
She
dear.
find somewhere in the Bible and she tie up the Bible with the key what grandma
I
give
don't know how
her.
that one work at all, the Bible and key thing. I don't know. I don't know how they do
And
it.
she tie up the Bible
I have,
and me
seen it.
hide
And-
behind the door and me a peeping out because you pick me enough to see these things. And she tell my grandmother what to do. And my grandmother to sit down here. So me never forget it because it seems so scary. And she sit down here so and she sit down there so and she put her finger underneath the key top like so. And she said, by St. Peter, by St. Paul. And
Yes.
something else. Me don't remember what else she said, but she said
Yeah,
by
they
St.
call
Peter.
it by St. Paul and Maxi.
But she called.
And any name,
Ah,
I know
something like,
so.
yes.
Show me
Yeah.
who
And then
gives the
what
money.
happened to the Bible? The key
So whatever
moved?
direction, whatever direction it stops in.
Yes, it moves.
Oh, well, the
So
Bible never
It
spin.
unwinds. Yes, so it unwinds. After they tie it up like that, it unwinds. And wherever
It
stops.
turned, the Bible turned. It's still tied up. It never the first name she called it never turned. The second name she called it never see there. I see him thing me I tell you.
Yeah,
Listen
that
to me.
person. Yeah. But then say believe
Me
kill and
know.
cure.
Believe Karen. And I'm nothing but her finger get sweaty, And nothing but that. Finger must get sweaty. You hold up your finger underneath this thing and anticipate.
It's like how people used to talk. I've never seen it about Ouija board.
Oh, I've never seen it. I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
But if you
Yeah,
watch
but-
an African movie, they have a lot of that. Even when who killed the king, and they do this ritual where they carry them in one room, and if this do this or so it's a thing coming. I'm telling you, everything we're talking about, it came
Yes.
from our ancestors. It came from it's a way they didn't have judge and court and all these things, so they have to try
Create
ways
their
and
own.
means to find out who do something.
So here, Princess, she's now with fear adventure herself like me. Yes, I usually hide and do it, but had to not let Deacon Golden catch me because he would said I'm practicing obia.
Practice all yeah.
So but we're gonna wrap up soon, but let me see what else I found. If you peel an orange without the peel getting broken, you will get a new suit. Me should have enough. Come you can peel orange and
And if your front tail cock up, you'll get new front.
right.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
hear that
sewing
one for
here that
real.
says sewing or mending clothes on someone is considered bad luck. So you should not stick them with pin to reverse that.
The amount of somebody with my grandmother so close on them. She
All
was
right.
a seamstress.
How many of us do this as women? Women should never leave or place their handbags on the ground. It will make them poor.
I heard that,
that's
and
why
I
I'm
have
so
done
poor.
it so many times. So maybe that's why
That's why
I
I'm
am
poor.
not so rich. But I'm rich in other things. So
That's right. Yeah, Jen.
Amen.
Don't sweep debris or dust from inside your house to outside at nights. You
At
will
night.
sweep out your good luck.
Yes.
Yes.
some people sweep
And
a
if
morning, sleep a night, sleep a evening. Me say, when people are the old guests, I hate it. When guests come and your guests come, people are take broom and sweep. Like you sweep
That's
them out. I hate it. I go to somebody else and I do it. I never go back to their house. Sweep in the house while I'm there.
Did you know
What
that
did
they
you do?
say a baby boy who resembles his mother will have great fortune? It's the
Yes.
same for girl baby who
That's
resembles
what
her father.
Father.
I rebuke
Yes.
that in the name of Jesus because my son don't look like me at all.
Oh
But
dear.
I refuse to believe that he will not have fortune.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. But I think we had a good run this morning.
Yes, yes.
Love and relationships. To check if someone loves you, take a piece of the yellow love bush, spit on it, and throw it on the fence of your
Yes.
lover or
I
nearest
have
bush
done
to
that.
his or her. Oh, what?
Oh, we never throw it up on the theme
Me just
bush.
do the love me not. The flowers, love me, you love me not. Love me, you love me not. Love me, you love me not.
Oh, we never throw it
Love
on
me,
theme
you
bush,
love me
Lady
not.
D.
Sometimes it go
So you
for
have to
love
throw
me.
it on his bush. Oh, what is it,
Yes.
Jesus? No wonder we get the wrong husband. Okay.
Young men,
Okay.
don't eat directly out of a cooking pot. You won't get any beard when you grow up.
Beard and yeah.
Oh.
Read it up until I grow beard. I've heard that too.
Mhm.
That one was very prevalent.
No.
Yes. Oh, what Chris said now. I've seen the ring and chain, and trust me, it works. Oh dear.
Oh God.
The ring and chain.
Yeah.
What
Like
else? Which
what you
one?
were talking about, Jackie.
Oh, the.
Similar. Oh,
Okay.
this is Blossom. Thank you, Blossom.
Oh, it's blossom.
Yeah, she said this lady needs Blossom. Sandra. Sandra, I haven't seen you in ages. How are you? So nice to see you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. But, again, our culture is steeped within us. And many of these practices and sayings and fables and so on, we have never personally experienced. Some we have. But the greatest thing of all is that we are all united in one nation as one people under God, wherever we come from. And we continue to display, showcase, talk about our culture with our children and grandchildren and just about everybody. Have you ever seen somebody really
I
get
mean,
excited when they're reminiscing?
oh yes.
I mean, there's just something that evokes that kind of aura about them, all when they were in a bad mood, as they start to talk about something that they remember. It changes,
Well,
it
I just have to
Yes.
open my mouth and say something. And when a Jamaican is around me, and I just open my mouth and they say, "Oh Jesus, wait, oh God, I feel so refreshed hearing that voice
voice.
or
There you
that
go.
song." Yes.
Yes, so it's nice.
And we
So,
also have to remember too that some of these folklore and traditions or whatever, it was forbidden on the plantation, and people were made to believe that it was evil when it's really not. Even today, people think that certain things are evil, but it's not. It's all in your mind.
yeah.
This is what the people came from on the slave ships with, and they lost it on the plantation. And the little that they were able to bring over into the families that were free afterwards, they were
Yes.
made to believe that it was evil when it's not. So
So,
remember that
ladies,
too.
it's a while we haven't done our branding. So, I'll allow you now, starting with Max, because, ladies and gentlemen, we're wrapping up. But I know that you all had a good morning with us. Max.
Absolutely, it was an awesome show. Yes, Sex and the Secret. Those are all of my songs. I am an artist, reggae artist, and a poet, as everyone knows. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all over the platform. You can find all of my tracks there. And of course, I'm available for a performance. I have one coming up in December right here in Georgia. And I'm working on a new track right now, and I'm loving it. Thank you, Lady D, for this platform.
Yes,
And for
ma'am.
allowing us to share here.
Nice.
Now, Jackie, while you head down.
Sorry. Pudding pan top, pudding. Well, it's not only pudding, puddings and cakes and anything traditional. I bake it and I ship it anywhere in the world. And I'm on Instagram as the Pudding Pan and just Jackie on Facebook, or Pudding Pan Top gmail.com or 917-533-2380. That's me.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Jennifer Douglas. I have my master's, bachelor's in everything, education, behavioral speech, everything. And I do virtual tutoring all 7 days a week. And my number is 347-961-260, or email me at bronxjennifer@aol.com. Your child needs to gather up. That's a part of culture, to educate. And sometimes we don't get it in the public schools. We don't get it in the private schools, but you can get it individually. And I'm here. I do Zoom tutoring. So just if your child is low in reading, I specialize in that, and I need help, come on, come aboard, call me, email me, and you will get that done.
Thank you. My name is Denise Lady D Gomez, and I am a broadcaster here in New York. I host my own radio platform called Inside the Zone with Lady D. It airs on Mondays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and on Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linkage Radio here in Mount Vernon, New York, broadcasting also on my YouTube channel. If you are interested in hosting events, I'm a great production planner for your event, as well as an MC, voiceover specialist. So my voice can, be used for so many different things. And I'm also a playwright. So email me inside the zone nyc@gmail.com, or you can call me 914-304-2592. We've had a great morning, Lord ladies. We just gelled
Hi,
together.
Karen. Thank you for joining, Karen Bailey. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thank you. And who
Thanks
else
to all the
came in
newbies,
last?
Lady D, all the newbies who joined us.
Yes.
And please
We're here
join us
Saturday.
again.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget, those of you who are on and you have never subscribed to the channel, because I'm only broadcasting through YouTube onto Facebook and LinkedIn. The platform allows me now. I can jump on LinkedIn, so it's also over on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So, we just want to spread the culture across the board.
Okay.
So thank you.
All
Subscribe,
right.
please. If you have never subscribe. It won't cost you anything, no money. Just press the word, tap it. Last week we said juke, but we're not doing patwa this week.
Oh, I have to cut off.
Okay. So please subscribe, and God willing, we'll see you all next week to do it all over again with Satideh Mawnin runnings.
Yes.
From Equity Talk.
Okay.
Blessings,
Have a
everybody.
great week, everyone. Bye.
Love.
Blessings.
Bye.
All right. Bye.